families, friends, and most importantly tonight, our incredible graduates. Today we gather not only to celebrate an ending, but to honor the remarkable journey that each of the students has taken, from their first days in the early childhood community to their final moments in the adolescent community. Montessori education doesn't rush, it invites, and 8th graders next to me have accepted that invitation every time they choose their work with purpose. They were given time and space to struggle, to solve, and to understand. They learned not only because someone told them to, but because of something inside of them that wanted to know. And that, more than any grade or test, is a sign of a true academic. Tonight is more than a graduation. Tonight is a tribute to growth, to discovery, and to the strength that develops when children are inspired to learn at their own individual pace in their own way. As a former early childhood community student, I can vouch for others that it isn't easy to recall various memories from those 3 years. It's not a matter of the years being forgettable or boring, but a matter of the years being in the very early stages of my life. The main thing that I remember about ECC was when I sang Stitches by Shawn Mendes with my friends Yana, Tina, and Trula at one of Nature's Way's various picnics. I've kept this performance stored in the deepest, darkest places of my mind until today, where I've decided to bring it to life. Although I'm still slightly embarrassed to admit this past rendition of the very popular song, I think it's important to bring up our past and mention that even if we are currently embarrassed of something we did that now feels like ages ago, it was fun at the time. And to notice that that's all that really matters. The scars of embarrassment may never fully heal, but they were stitched up, with the thread of companionship and true care for one another. Unlike the early childhood community, I am able to remember lower elementary with at least a little more clarity. There are still many things that my peers will remind me of, and I'll ask, did I really act like that, or did that really happen? These questions aren't out of a disbelief of the person telling me, but out of disbelief of how different I have become throughout the years of attending Nature's Way. This school has taught me patience, like the time in Ellie that a little-known thing called COVID hit, and the 3rd graders at the time could no longer attend the River Ridge camping trip that was spoken about through the course of the year. It's taught me to be grateful for what I have, like when the 2nd graders got to go to Safety City, and the then 3rd graders didn't get to do anything of the sort. What this school has not taught me, however, is how not to hold a small grudge against that very specific event. With the multitude of various academic lessons that were learned here, each unique student had their own personal lessons being learned along the way. In 4th grade, I remember being the most nervous I had ever been for a new school year. It was my first year back from at-home learning, and adding that to the new environment and building was pretty scary for a 10-year-old me. In these years, I really solidified my friendship with one of, if not my closest friends, Fiona. Fiona has seen me through some of the most humiliating and worst stages of my life, and she's stuck with me throughout the entirety of it. I wake up every morning lucky to call this amazing human being my friend. At the end of this year, though, I somehow thought that I would be ready and able to transition from the school I had always known to a different environment with a very different teaching style than here. Fortunately, I realized that that school was not the one for me, all because it didn't feel like home, not like Nature's Way does at least. Luckily, after I came to my senses in a way, Nature's Way welcomed me back to their school with open arms. It was great to hear that many of my current friends were excited to have me back, even if it was slightly awkward coming back to school without doing any of the summer assignments. Out of the many bonding trips throughout my 7th grade year, our trip to Atlanta, Georgia remains my personal favorite. I think this trip was one of our most memorable ones, whether it be the uncooked pasta or belting pop music with friends in the back of Gar's rented van. 7th grade was a year of moments, and I feel incredibly lucky to have shared each one of them with these great people. It was difficult to remember many specific moments from my 8th grade year, but what I do remember is how much fun I've had with my classmates. This past year has been filled to the brim with reminiscing our times together in various communities, whether you joined in the toddler community or if this is your first and last year here at Nature's Way. My fellow graduating peers have to be some of the smartest people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, and I can't wait to see how each of us grow as we progress through our respective stages of life. The future, as it is for practically everyone, is nerve-wracking and unpredictable. Despite this, I have no doubt that each and every student under this tent has a great life ahead of them, as I know how all of them are passionate, hardworking people. As I look ahead to high school and beyond, I feel a mix of excitement and curiosity. I know I'll face new challenges, but I'm ready to grow and learn from them. In high school, I will be attending L&N STEM Academy. I plan to explore different subjects, join clubs, and figure out what I'm really passionate about. One day, I hope to turn that passion into a career, maybe something in art, zoology, or helping the individuals in my community. I don't have all the answers yet, but I know that I want to make a difference, keep learning, and become someone I can be proud of. Before I completely wrap up my speech for tonight, I'd like to thank every teacher that has ever had me in their classroom. These amazing people have to be some of the most helpful people in my life, not only guiding me through my academic career, but helping me learn how to become a better person with their guidance. No matter if you taught me in a classroom or on the playground, I want to thank you for every lesson I've ever learned from you. Along with them, I'd like to thank my parents for teaching me how to deal with things that I've never dealt with before. You two are the most influential people in my life, and I don't know what I did in a previous life that allowed me to have parents like you guys, but whatever it is, I'm eternally grateful I did it. And finally, I'd like to thank my fellow classmates. No matter if you are a Nature's Way alumni or if you still attend, you all have taught me so many things that I would have never learned without you. Everyone at this school is so amazing that it's difficult to boil it down to specific people. Just know that you are appreciated by your students, children, and peers. As we come to the end of tonight's celebration, we leave not just with memories, but with a deep sense of who we are becoming. Montessori has taught us to be curious, to lead with kindness, and to never stop asking why. We've grown not just in what we know, but in how we see the world, with independence, compassion, and courage. To the teachers and guides, thank you for believing in us, for seeing our potential even when we couldn't yet see it ourselves. To our families, thank you for walking this journey with us, for your love, your patience, and your support. And finally, to the students, thank you for being yourself. Each of you are some of the greatest people I've seen, and it's because of you that I get to move into this next stage of my life with the lessons that all of you have taught me, even if it's not done by you.